Welcome. You are about to begin a peaceful journey through English. This is not just a story. It is a path to learn, to feel calm, and to fall asleep gently. Let your body relax, let your thoughts slow down. Close your eyes if you can. You don't need to remember everything. Just listen. Let the rhythm of English wash over you. The words will guide you. The sentences will repeat gently. The story will help you learn, even while you sleep. Now, take a deep breath, and let us begin the story. Part 1, the beginning. Once upon a time, there was a quiet village. The village was small. It was surrounded by a deep green forest. The people of the village were kind. They lived simple lives. They worked, they helped each other, and they smiled often. In this village there lived a girl named Mira. Mira was 20 years old. She had long black hair and soft brown eyes. She loved books. She loved walking in the forest. And she loved dreams. Every night Mira had strange dreams. They were not bad dreams. They were soft, beautiful dreams. In her dreams she walked through the forest. In her dreams she heard music in the trees. And sometimes the trees spoke to her. She did not understand the dreams, but she felt they were important. She felt the forest was calling her to follow the path, calling her to learn something. One morning Mira woke up. She looked out of her window. The sun was just rising. The forest looked golden. She heard birds singing. She felt something different. Today was special. She did not know why, but she felt it deep inside. She got up. She made a cup of tea. She sat by the window, and she whispered to herself, "Maybe today I will follow the path." Part to the first steps. Mira put on her brown boots. She took her small leather bag. She filled it with simple things: a notebook, a pencil, a bottle of water, and a little piece of bread. She stepped outside. The air was cool. The wind was soft. The trees stood tall. She walked slowly, step by step, one foot after the other. She walked toward the forest. She had walked there many times, but today felt new. Today felt like the beginning of something. The path was quiet. Birds flew from branch to branch. The light danced between the leaves. Everything was calm. Everything was still. After some time, she found a tree she liked. It was an old tree. Its bark was rough. Its roots were strong. She sat near the tree. She opened her notebook. She wrote, "Dear forest, I am here. I do not know what I am looking for, but I am listening." She closed the notebook. She leaned back. She listened. And then she heard it. A voice. Very soft. Very gentle. "Hello," the voice said. Mira looked around. No one was there. "Who's there?" she asked. "I am the tree," the voice said. "You're listening, that is good." Mira's heart beat faster. But she was not afraid. She felt calm. She felt seen. She asked, "Why are you speaking to me?" "Because you're ready," said the tree. "You are awake inside your dream. Now your journey begins." Part through the forest path. Mira felt both curious and calm. She sat quietly near the tree. The air around her was fresh. The sounds of the forest filled her ears, but the tree's voice stayed with her. It felt warm and safe. "Where do I go now?" Mira asked. The tree's voice was soft and deep. "You will follow the path ahead of you. Look for the signs. The signs are hidden in the leaves, in the air, in the sky. They will guide you." Mira stood up. She walked slowly down the path, her boots crunching softly on the dry leaves. The trees on both sides of the path were tall. Some of the branches touched the sky. Others bent low to the ground. She reached out and touched the bark of a tree. It felt smooth like glass. She smiled to herself. She walked for a while. The sun was high in the sky, but the forest kept her cool. She felt peaceful as if she were in a dream. But there was something inside her that knew it was real. The path felt real. The forest felt real. As she walked, she saw a small stone on the path. It was round and smooth, but there was something strange about it. It glowed softly in the sunlight. Mira picked it up carefully. "What is this?" she asked softly. The tree's voice answered, "It is a sign. It is a gift from the forest. Keep it with you. It will help you find your way." Mira smiled. She put the glowing stone in her bag. Then she continued walking. The path ahead seemed to stretch forever. But Mira didn't feel tired. She didn't feel lost. She felt as though the forest was leading her. She came to a small clearing. In the middle of the clearing there was a pond. The water was calm and clear. There were flowers around the edge of the pond. Mira knelt down to touch the water. It felt cold and smooth. She looked into the water and saw her reflection. But something was different. In the water, she could see not only her face, but the trees behind her, the sky, the stars, the moon. It was as though the pond showed the world beyond the forest. She stared at her reflection, and then the voice spoke again. "The forest has many secrets. Some are hidden in the water. Some are hidden in the sky. Some are hidden in your heart. Trust yourself, Mira. You are on the right path." Park for the first lesson. Mira sat by the pond. The water was still. The wind was soft. She closed her eyes. She listened. She could hear the wind in the trees. She could hear birds singing in the branches. And she could hear the gentle voice of the forest. "Mira," the voice said, "are you ready to learn your first lesson?" Mira opened her eyes slowly. "Yes," she whispered. "I am ready." "The first lesson," the voice said, "is listening." Mira smiled. "I am already listening," she said. "Yes," the voice replied. "You are, but listening is more than hearing. It is more than sound. True listening is quiet. True listening is deep. True listening is patient." Mira nodded. She understood a little. But she wanted to understand more. "How do I listen deeply?" she asked. The voice answered, "Sit still, breathe. Listen without fear. Listen without waiting to speak. Listen with your heart." Mira closed her eyes again. She breathed in. She breathed out. She felt the wind on her skin. She felt the warmth of the sun. She heard the water move gently in the pond. She felt the forest around her. She was quiet, very quiet, inside and outside. After some time, she heard something new. It was a small sound, a tiny voice. "Hello," the small voice said. Mira opened her eyes. She looked down. At the edge of the pond sat a frog, a little green frog with golden eyes. "Did you speak?" Mira asked. The frog nodded. "Yes, I did. You listened. You heard me, that means you are learning?" Mira laughed softly. "I am listening," she said. "Yes," the frog replied. "And because of that, I will teach you something." Mira leaned forward. "What will you teach me?" she asked. "I will teach you about stillness," the frog. "Stillness is power. Stillness is peace. Stillness is where you find the answers." Mira sat back. She watched the frog. It sat very still. It did not move. It did not jump. It just was. Mira watched. And slowly she began to feel the stillness too. It was inside her. It was part of her. "Thank you," she said. The frog blinked once, then jumped into the pond. The voice returned. "You have learned your first lesson. Now the forest will show you the next step." Part 5: The Hidden Ore. Mira stood up. The pond shimmered behind her. The frog was gone, but the stillness remained. She looked at the trees ahead. There was no path now, no road to follow. Only trees, tall, wide, ancient trees. She stepped forward. The trees seemed to move gently aside, not with sound, not with force, but with quiet welcome. She walked slowly, softly, carefully. Then she saw it, a tree unlike the others. It was wide. Its bark was silver. Its leaves were dark green, almost blue. And in its trunk, there was a door, a small round door. Mira walked to it. She touched it with her fingers. The wood was warm. The door had no handle, but it opened slowly, by itself. Inside there was a stairway, a small winding stairway, going down into the earth. Mira took a deep breath. She stepped inside. It was quiet, very quiet. The only sound was her soft footsteps on stone. Down she went. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, down and down, into the earth. After many steps, she reached a small room. It was round. The walls were stone. There was no furniture, only a candle and a mirror. The candle was lit. The flame danced gently. The mirror stood in the center of the room. Mira walked to the mirror. She looked inside. She saw herself, but not just herself. She saw her dreams. She saw her fears. She saw her past. And she saw her future. The voice returned. You have found the hidden ore, and you have entered your own heart. This room is yours. You may return here anytime. It is your place of learning, and your place of peace. Mira looked at the mirror again. She smiled. The face in the mirror smiled too. Then the mirror changed. The image faded, and in its place she saw a path, a glowing path, a path made of light. It's time to go, the voice said. Your next lesson waits for you. Part 6, The Language of Light. Mira stepped into the mirror. Yes, she stepped into it, as if the glass had become water. Cool, soft, quiet. She did not fall. She floated. The light surrounded her. It was warm. It was bright but gentle. Then she stood on the glowing path, the path of light. It stretched ahead of her, through the stars. There was no ground, no forest, only sky and light. She began to walk, step by step, light beneath her feet, stars above her head. She felt no fear, only wonder. As she walked, she heard voices, soft voices, but not in any language she knew. The voices sang, the voices whispered, the voices told stories. The light pulsed with the sound. Every word became a shape. Every sound became a color. Mira closed her eyes. She listened. She breathed. She opened her heart. Then slowly, she began to understand. Not with her mind, but with her feeling, with her being. The light was speaking, and she was learning. Welcome, Mira, the light said. We speak the language of light. It is the language of all things. It is the first language, before words, before time. Mira whispered, teach me. And so they did, with sound, with color, with story. She saw a bird flying. The light said freedom. She saw a river flowing. The light said change. She saw a child sleeping. The light said peace. Every image a word, every word a feeling, every feeling a lesson. And Mira repeated, softly, clearly, freedom, change, peace. She felt them in her body. She understood them in her heart. The light said, "When you return to the world, you will carry this language with you. You will listen more deeply. You will speak more truly." Mira smiled. "Thank you," she said. "Thank you for the language." The light shimmered. It pulsed with joy. "Now," it said, "you must return to the forest. The forest is calling you back." Part 7: The Garden of Whispers. Mira opened her eyes. She was no longer on the path of light. She was back in the forest. But it looked different now. The trees sparkled with light. The leaves whispered softly. The air was full of color, and she could feel the forest breathing. She took a step forward, and then another. The ground beneath her feet felt soft and warm, almost like a dream. She followed the whispers. They were soft. They were kind. They called her name. "Mira, Mira, Inira." She reached a garden. It was hidden between the trees. A secret place. The garden was filled with flowers. Tall flowers. Tiny flowers. Purple, red, golden, and blue. They swayed in the wind, as if dancing. In the center of the garden stood a bench, made of stone, covered in moss. Old but strong. Mira sat down. She looked around. The garden felt alive. The flowers were watching her and listening. Then a whisper. Very close. "Speak," the whisper said. "Say what's in your heart." Mira was surprised. "What do you mean?" she asked. "Say your truth," the whisper replied. "This is a garden of whispers. It listens. It remembers. And it helps you hear your own voice." Mira closed her eyes. She breathed in. She breathed out. Then, slowly, she began to speak. "I am Mira. I am walking a path I do not fully know. I am not afraid. But I am curious. I am learning to listen. I am learning to feel. I am learning to be still. And now I want to learn to speak." The flowers swayed gently. The wind touched her hair, and the garden whispered back. "Then speak with love. Speak with truth. Speak with care. Words are seeds. Plant them wisely." Mira opened her eyes. She looked at the flowers, and for the first time, she could understand them. Each flower spoke a word. Hope, kindness, courage, joy, patience, trust. Mira smiled. She repeated the words softly. Hope, kindness, courage, joy, patience, trust. The garden shimmered, and Mira felt the words enter her heart. Part 8: The Keeper of Dreams. Mira stood from the bench. The garden whispered goodbye. The flowers bowed gently, as if saying, "Go on, little dreamer. There is more to see." She stepped out of the garden. The forest path returned. This time it was lit by soft, floating lights, like fireflies, but slower, calmer. They floated around her, guiding her steps. The sky above turned violet. Stars appeared. The moon rose high. She felt sleepy, but peaceful. Then ahead she saw a figure, tall, wrapped in a cloak of night and stars. The figure glowed gently, not with light, but with dreams. Mira walked closer. "Who are you?" she asked. The figure turned. Its face was kind. Its eyes were calm. "I'm the keeper of dreams," it said. "I protect the dreams of those who wander, and those who listen." "You are both." Mira nodded. "I listen. I wander. I want to understand." The keeper smiled. "You already do. But come, let me show you something." He waved his hand, and a door appeared, made of clouds. Soft, glowing. They walked through it together. Inside was a sky filled with floating pictures, moving pictures, dreams. Mira saw a child flying above mountains, a woman swimming through stars, a man walking on a road made of books, a tree singing songs to the moon. These, said the keeper, are dreams. Yours, mine, the world's. Mira watched in wonder. Can I speak to them? She asked. Yes, he said, but not with your voice, with your feeling, with your presence. Mira closed her eyes. She reached out, not with her hand, but with her heart, and the dreams responded. They moved closer. They danced around her. They whispered words she had never heard, yet understood. Peace, wisdom, balance, wonder. Each word was gentle. Each word felt like light. You are learning quickly, the keeper said. You are not just dreaming. You are becoming part of the dream. Mira looked up. I want to keep learning, she said. The keeper of dreams nodded. Then it is time for your next teacher. He raised his hand again. A path opened in the sky, made of silver. At the end of this path, he said, you will meet the one who knows silence. Mira stepped forward, one foot on the path. She turned once more to the keeper. Thank you, she said. Sleep well, he replied, and dream even better. Part 9. The one who knows silence. Mira walked the silver path. It felt like moonlight. Cool. Soft. There was no sound. Only her breath. Only her heartbeat. She walked slowly. She listened. Soon, she reached a quiet place. A wide space. Open and still. Like a great white field. Floating in the sky.